Can't stop me. And look at that VIP parking spot. All right, guys, so we have El Monarca Mexican Grill. I want to show you guys a repair that we had to do on their fryer. Something that's very, very common, and I want to kind of show you guys this way it doesn't happen to you guys. So if you come down here, sometimes what happens is people start putting chemicals to clean the fryer, which I completely understand. You need to keep your fryer cleaned at all times, but you want to be very, very careful and not put those chemicals on the cables, because the cables, if it sits on there, it'll start to basically dry out and it might not make a good connection from the valves. When you guys are cleaning your fryers, try to use water. If you are going to use chemicals, maybe wipe it down. Don't just spray the entire fryer. This will keep you from having to come in, have to get repairs, or sometimes even this could even possibly burn out the valve. So be very, very careful, guys. And again, if anything comes up and you are, concerned about trying to fix it yourself, just bring it in and let us experts take care of it for you. Oh no, it happened again. I landed right in the spot where I can't move. Let's see if I can get out of this. I'll make it happen, don't worry. Can't stop me. Another big delivery today. Coast aluminum, more aluminum, more material. Give it to me, George. All right, cool. Let's go inside, man. Let's do it. Here's an Al Pastor that was over at our Fremont location. Sometimes when we have things happen to it, the great thing about what we have and how we set everything up is that we can quickly disconnect it, bring it to the shop, repair it, do whatever we have to do, and then take it right back. So the way we even set things up are very feasible for what we do. All right, so my client, Sonny, he's on his way down here to pick up his trailer. But what I always do to all my trailers, just before we do the walkthroughs, I like to do a second check, because sometimes we can miss something. My guys can miss something, but I do a final take just to make sure that everything looks good so that the walkthrough goes smoothly. Things like this cap, make sure it has a cap. Sometimes those get lost. The health department makes a big deal out of them. Making sure the tires look good, everything's, they have enough air. Their plates, making sure they have their plates. Their water inlet with the little mesh. It's very important that this little mesh is always on there. The health department will make a big, big deal about it. All right, so we just circle around here. Everything looks good. You also got that mesh here for the window. It's gotta be clean, can't be dirty. Doors are good, the shocks are good, the lights are good. Everything looks good. We also got that decal. Again, remember, we do propane gas inspections. I'm one of very few here in town that has license to do the propane inspections. Once passes the inspection, you'll get this decal right here. That is good for 1 year. So check that out. VIN number, of course, we build this trailer, so we have our VIN plate, custom VIN plate right there. Generator's good to go as well. It's welded on there. Again, guys, I highly recommend that you always weld your generator. I can't tell you how many times people have gotten their generator stolen because they go with a cage. And remember, a cage will not help. It's very easy to steal a generator when it's inside a cage. They just cut the corners and it's out. It's gone in less than 30 seconds. When it's welded on the bottom of the generator to the tongue of the chassis, it would take a professional way longer than 30 seconds. It'll maybe 20, 25 minutes. Somebody who knows how to use a plasma or a grinder definitely takes a lot longer. But again, when somebody's trying to steal, they're looking for something quick and easy. So very important, I highly recommend it. Everything's all set up already inside. We also have outlets outside. We make sure that everything works. We test everything, triple check everything there, okay? So again, the fryer, we make sure it's got its drip right here. This is very important so they can empty out their oil. Lines look good. The two baskets are good. The flat top, the burners, the drip trays again, the grease trap. Steam table looks good. Everything, the whiteboard, cutting board, outlets all work. Lights all work. AC works. Refrigerator has all its racks in here. 1 door tall fridge. 1 door prep table refrigerator with its 8 bins. Finally, we're finishing up here with the hand sink. 3 compartment sink, everything works. We tested everything, the keys, we got the extinguishers. Remember, when you drive, I recommend that you put them in the sink bowl. That way they don't bounce around. I typically like to do something like this, kind of keep it tight in there. But when you are operating, you have to hang them up. Designated location. So this trailer, it's right under this table. All right, so it's good to go. The water gauge is also good. The tanks, we're ready to go, rock and roll. They're gonna be here any minute now. All right, guys, so the trailer's ready for a walkthrough. I'm gonna grab my guys and then we're gonna walk them through. Check this out. All right, you guys ready? Yeah. Let's do it, come on, let's do it. All right, guys, follow me, man. It's hot, huh? All right, guys, so I'm gonna do you guys the whole entire walkthrough how to operate the entire thing. Okay, so step by step. Again, you guys are more than welcome to film. That way you guys can go over the video and just check it all out, okay? Okay. So let me show you guys. Why don't you guys walk around over here first, or jump over. Come on over. Let me show you guys this first. First thing you guys want to do, guys, is have your power connected, okay? The trailer needs to be connected. It has to have power because we have an electric gas valve inside, okay? The electric gas valve is a safety feature. Without any power, it shuts the gas from going through, okay? So the first thing, connect your trailer to either your generator, or if you're gonna be connected to a building, that's the first thing you wanna do. The second thing you wanna do is turn on your gas, okay? So here, you open your gas right here, and then this is an emergency shut-off valve. Okay. This right here is open, okay? Every single night when you guys are done operating, you wanna close it. The reason why you want to close it is just in case you have a leak or something happens just out of nowhere. You want to close it, that way you have no problems with the inside of the kitchen. Okay. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to open it up because I'm going to light everything up for you. Okay. So again, you guys have outlets right here. If you guys ever want to put music, a speaker, yeah, outlets. You guys could put a refrigerator out here, things like that. Okay. So that's why we put outlets. Maybe you want to put lights or something like that. Let me walk you guys through the backside over here. Okay. Right here is your water heater. So from the inside, you have a button to turn it on. Okay. You don't have to come out here. But in the event that you ever had to restart it because the button went out, you just open this up. There's a black button that you just push. Okay. Reset. Yep, reset. Hold it down, and it resets. Okay. Cool. But you almost never have to go in here. Ventilation. Okay, we do have ventilation for the refrigerators. That way, with this heat, it doesn't overheat. Okay, so very, very important. Make sure that nothing ever blocks this. I've seen people park up against a wall or something very close. Try to make sure there's ventilation here. Yeah, a little space, yeah, so that it can breathe. One big thing that I do recommend is maybe getting a floor fan, especially in the heat like this. If you get a floor fan that you can get maybe off like Home Depot, Amazon, something like that. If you put the fan inside the kitchen facing towards the compressors, it'll help circulate more and it'll give you the temperature, okay? That's only if it gets really hot. Okay, I do it all year long. It's just really good. Well, especially in the summer. Okay, I put the floor fan. I just leave it there. It feels good anyways. Inside, yeah. Okay. Just put there's a little outlets in there. You just connect it. Cool. Okay. Right here is your gray water drain. You just unscrew this cab and you pull this latch, and the gray water shoots out. Okay. This is for you're at the commissary. At the commissary, you have a grease trap in the floor. Okay. When you pull in, you'll stop where the grease trap area is. You unscrew it, pull the latch, and all the gray water goes down, okay? Just takes a few minutes, not a long time, and then you go parking at your location. Let's go in here and let me talk a little bit about this. All right, come on over here. It feels a little better in here, that's for sure. All right, yeah. It's good to have an AC, huh? Good to have an AC here, no? All right, so we did pass health inspection already, so everything's good to go. Always have your extinguishers, you know, somewhere around like a table like this. We're gonna put hooks here, but you always wanna have them on hand, okay? When you guys are driving, I recommend you get them and put them inside the sink bowl, the 3-compartment sink. That way they don't fall. If they do fall or something while you're driving, they can lose the pressure. The pressure might go out, and then you'll have to get it reserved. So you have that right there. Let's see, right behind you, again, we have the 1-door tall refrigerator, so that's all good to go. You have the 1-door prep table refrigerator, okay? Everything good to go there. 3-compartment sink, hand sink. There's already hot water. The hot water has been running already, so the water is gonna be hot. I didn't turn it on right now, but it's already running. And water again, very hot. I'm gonna have my guy walk you through this. He's gonna turn everything on and just pay really close attention how to turn everything on. The most important one is gonna be the steam table and the fryer. These two are very easy, but I want you to be very close and watch how to operate everything. So here we go. Let's start off with the fryer. So you wanna push the pilot button in. That releases the gas. You put the fire directly to the pilot, just like this. You light it up. Yep, you hold it down so that until the thermostat gets hot. You see that little stick in the back? There's a little stick and then there's like a little T. All right, that little thermostat, the stick needs to be hot. It almost needs to turn red. Once it reaches temperature, which is like really hot, the pilot will stay on. If you release and the fire goes out, that means you need to hold it down a little longer. It's kind of like a water heater at home. See how it stays on? Then you move it to on. Then after that, you go ahead and put the temperature that you want. So just go ahead and turn that on and the burners light up. Now the flat top griddle. Very simple. You just put the fire directly to the burners. All right, the easiest one are going to be the stove, the 4 burners. Always put the fire first, okay? Always do the fire first, because you don't want to open it up, fill it up with gas, and then put the fire. You'll create a little ball of fire, okay? All right. The AC is what's blowing it out a little bit, but you get the idea. Now we're gonna do the steam table. Same, very similar. So we're gonna open up the gas. There's a little button. So just look at how he reaches for the button. There's a little red button. Hold that down, just like the fryer. You hold it down, and then you put the fire directly to the pilot.
Similar to fryer.
Correct. Same thing. Okay. Once it stays lit, when you let go of the button, it's ready to go. You want to make sure the thermostat heats up. See that? Okay, and then you want to keep it low enough to where it's blue. You don't want to get to the yellow. If you go up to where it's yellow, it'll start to make smoke. Yes, it'll black smoke. Keep it at blue, so just watch it. Sometimes you want to turn it fast so that it lights everything up nicely. Okay, and then you just start playing with it. Okay?
Turn it off.
Turn it off, yep, so you'll just turn it off right there. In the pilot, you can just blow it out. It will turn off, just blow it out. You can do the same thing. It'll turn off eventually when you turn off the propane tank because there's still gas in the lines. You see? So it's always good to turn off the propane tank and the shut-off valve. Okay? But you can just blow it out. Practice. Learn your trailer, learn how to operate, and just be patient. All right, guys, so we're gonna be doing the delivery right now. So I'm gonna pull this trailer out. I'm gonna hook them up, do the drive off. What a beautiful trailer. I love the colors. I love the mixture. Very different actually. All right, so I had the forklift parked right here because there's very little parking here. So I saved it for my my beautiful mom. Look, she's about to pull in right now. And look at that VIP parking spot for her. There she comes. Gotta give her the best spot. The queen right there. And there she is, look at that. She just parked in her VIP parking spot right in front of the shop. All right, first thing. So you wanna make sure this is all the way up, all the time. Okay, all the way up so that you don't drive off and you hit something and then break the jack, okay? And another thing you wanna do is you wanna get yourself some wood or maybe they sell them also like on Amazon or something, some blocks, like plastic blocks or something, sturdy, where you could put underneath the jack so you don't have to go all the way to the floor. Because if you go all the way to the floor with all this weight, you will start to wear out the keys inside here. Okay? So it's always best to put blocks underneath. That way you only do this a few times and it comes off. You know what I mean, right? So, okay, again, first thing you wanna do is lock this baby in right here, just like this. So yeah, like this.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, push it in. Like that, okay? This holds it in. Then you have your safety pin. That way it doesn't open up, okay? Then you have some more safety things right here. So, okay, we got the safety chains, okay? What this is in the event that you hit a bump really hard or something and this thing came off or you forgot to lock it in, whatever it is, if this thing were to come off, the chains are gonna hold your trailer, okay? Now, let's also say that the chain, it was a very tough, you could also twist this just a couple times, not too much, if it's too long. Okay, maybe like 2-3 times at the most. Thank you, man. All right, thank you. Yeah. All right, brother. Y'all good? All right, man. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. All right, guys, so that's it for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Again, if you guys have any questions, don't forget to comment. That'll only help me help you guys. Take care.